public health.
We don't even know if the vaccine worked or not at the time.
Yes, that's what the trials are, dude. That's why these trials. What, are you missing data out there?
But let me ask you a question. Are we saying only one type of scientists are right?
No, we're saying that the system in place.
The 16,000 that signed that.
No. The system in place to test vaccines.
Yeah. Reported NIAC. I can text it to you and show it to you on some of the places. But tell me your position with NIAC and Iran and where you're at.
Fuck about NIAC.
Okay.
It's this whole thing is so stupid.
Well, people are asking, just so you know.
People are asking because they've been brainwashed by a purposeful, deliberate, well-funded, well-coordinated disinformation campaign that seeks to paint all progressive Iranian voices as regime supporters.
Can't we all just sit down and have a basic niceness towards each other?
Let me go back
Trump
to the question.
doesn't bring that out of people at all.
For the fifth time. This is where the audience gets upset sometimes because you don't answer questions.
No matter what you say, you're not going to convince me to vote for fucking Trump. So whatever. By the way, whatever way you want to pose the question. By the way, I'm not going to say you got me, Pat.
FYI, that's when you lose people, brother.
Why?
That's when you lose people.
Because I'm not willing to say, all right.
No, let me explain to you why you lose people there.
If you're saying an AOC or a Ilhan Omar, I'm not interested in them either.
This is where your argument loses because you lose credibility.
Because I'm not willing to succumb to Trump?
If you ask me a question and you say a guy like an Alex Jones is the face of the right, and I got a Biden on the other side, I'm probably going to say, I have no clue what this guy's going to do. Yeah. I'm going to have to consider that vote. But to you, it's hard to have logic to say, here's what would make me say I'm going to go this way.
Or a woman, a person that I can identify right now in the national political landscape who can handle China, who can handle Russia, who can handle all the issues, who doesn't need to be brought up to speed, who's smart.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Do you think?
No, God, no.
No,
oh
God,
my God,
no.
no. God,
Why?
She is, listen, that woman should not be allowed to wear a uniform.
Oh,
whoa,
my God.
whoa. Okay,
Zeller.
explain.
All right, there's a fundamental. Neither of you served.
No,
okay.
he did.
I did.
All right, so then you understand. You don't do politics in uniform. She's going on social media in her colonel's uniform and doing politics. That's a big no-no.
What are you talking about? Everyone's done it. I get what you're saying, but
I
totally get it. But all these guys do it.
And she was an Assad apologist. I will never. No. When you go and you meet with that man dropped barrel bombs on children. She dropped barrel bombs on children. They dropped chlorine gas on kids. No. She does not get a pass. She's the only American official in 7 years who stood with that son of a bitch. If you want to talk about values, right? Do we stand for something? You don't go and stand next to Assad and he say he's a good man trying to do right for his people.
Would you agree to do a sit down with Tulsi and you?
Only if I could spit in her face.
Wow.
I can't stand her. I think she is.
Well, that's just not going to work out.
I think
and because somebody can take the vaccine, won't get COVID, which, by the way, I don't need to play the clips for you to see it, where everybody said, hey, if you get it, you're not going to get, if you take the vaccine, you're not going to get a Rachel Maddow, Joe Biden. I can give you Fauci. I can give you, and you've seen these clips before. It's not like you've never seen it before.
Yeah, what happened
They were wrong.
Hold on. So.
Progressive side. You're not advised.
100%.
Which they support the nuclear deal, which you support as well.
100% support the nuclear deal.
So you support negotiating with a nation that says Marik Bad America, death upon America. You're comfortable negotiating with a country that hates us.
I'm sorry. Who do we negotiate? We only negotiate with countries that love us? Is that how negotiations work? Have you heard of the phrase diplomacy?
But diplomacy.
There is no negotiation with a country that actually agrees with you. But we negotiate with countries that disagree with us.
I totally get that.
Family, I don't have kids, so I'm not as issue-oriented. What were you going to change the name of your Twitter handle to be? Or a centrist? Or a synergist?
Synergist, yeah.
That's what this country needs. It's so much.
That's not the question, though. But
that's the point.
But that's not the question, though. This is the guy that's saying we need a synergist.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, the story is not the story.
So we keep doubling down on Trump, on Trump. Imagine if we had Trump president again. Imagine we don't have Trump president again. Yeah. We have someone that...
If you go back and you think about during the Shah era, when that place is safe, everybody around them felt safe. Nobody around Iran feels safe right now.
Nobody in Iran felt safe in the Shah's
Of course
era.
they did. Of course, it's called
Maybe
great power.
you and your family did.
Yours did as well. What are you talking about? Your example is the perfect one. The moment Shah left, your dad, as a communist, left. What are you talking about?
My father didn't feel safe. In
then why
Iran?
didn't he leave under the Shah? Why did he leave right? Khomeini came in. You realize how much hypocrisy there is for that. There's contradiction to that.
But let me. A lot of the things that I understood about you, I never honestly thought that you were going to sit here and actually defend the fucking Shah.
Are you kidding me? You're defending Khomeini. You're defending Iran. You're defending all the people that died.
Have I defended Khomeini?
You chose 50-50.
Hold on. Has anyone here actually heard me
indirectly?
Defend
you are. Indirectly, you are. When I asked you between the Shah and the Khomeini, you said it's neither. What are you talking? You're saying Khomeini and Shah are the same. You have to be naive to say that.
I didn't say they were the same. What I said was,
but your family, to be fair, though, for years, COVID vaccine hasn't been tested for it. It was something we just came out. But let me.
I don't know what point you're making, other than it was tested. You might
9 months is not enough.
You might prefer. No, it's not a matter of time. It's a matter of how many. Yes, time matters, but the number of people is paramount. That's the most important thing. Okay, you don't test it on 10 people. You test it on as many people as you can.
Sure.
I think it was thousands, but
is it fair to say that some of the side effects we may not know for 5, 10, 15, 20 years? You can't, they can't say we know 100% the side effects 10 years from now. How are you going to know that?
Yeah, okay. So, no, of course, we can't know that.
So then all I'm saying is...
Watch. We can't know that.
Okay.
But watch.
His hand...
Well, let me ask you a question. Sure. Since he's... At any point that you're interviewing these people, do you say, that was a good point? I actually think,
1,000,000%.
Okay, so you've
1,000,000%.
You've said, hey, good point. Like,
to communists.
Okay, exactly.
Yes.
So go with me now here. So on individual points, you said, okay, check for the Karl Marx thing. But at any point, no matter how many points this guy's made, is there any chance that you're going to believe in communism and socialism?
Did you just hear my...
The answer is no, right?
But did you just see what you're doing? Do you see what you're doing? These two analogies have nothing to do with each other.
I didn't make an analogy yet. I'm asking you a question.
You're making a point, right? Without having answered the question yet. So for you, the question that was asked on your end, you can't answer because to you...
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I was trying to make a valid point.
In your eyes, a man can't do anything right.
That's not, Pat. That's not what I said at all.
But wait a minute.
That's not what I said at all.
I asked you
what I said specifically was, I will give Trump credit on certain things. I like what he did in the Middle East. I like what he did on deregulation, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be a Trump fan or vote for him.
Do you actually?
Just like you said, you've agreed with certain socialist points, but you wouldn't become a socialist.
This question upsets you
No, because I see what you did there, and that was good. That was a good tactic.
Did what there? Explain to me what did there.
Like, I tried to make the same analogy that you made for me, and in my mind,
Buddy,
it's a very similar analogy.
We've asked you 6 times the same question.
Okay, so I'll be very specific.
So either you answer to have credibility to get a response from me,
yes, sir,
or you don't. If you don't answer, you have no credibility to discuss this.
Here's my answer.
It's that simple.
Are there things that Trump has done well? Yes.
That's not the question, though. So let's skip it if you don't want to answer the question.
I wouldn't vote for Trump. I've said it a million different times.
This is not the question. The question is who on your side of the aisle needs to represent for you to say, I would actually entertain and oppose. This is a regular conversation.
You're saying how bad does the Democratic candidate have to be?
7 times the same question.
Basically, would you vote for Ilhan Omar or Donald Trump?
Well, let me ask you this.
I'd vote for
because it's data.
Yeah, I agree.
On risk factors.
The risk of people's lives, for sure.
So nothing is ever zero risk. Yeah, there's a risk that you'll grow a 3rd arm in 10 years because the virus mutates within you.
Should the individual not have the right to say, I don't want to take it because that's...
You don't have the right to contaminate someone else. So if you don't want to get shot...
Who says that, though? But who says that?
It's a social contract in a modern civilization.
I don't have
public health.
I don't have the right to contaminate someone else. What do you mean? Like, so what do I do? Stay home all day?
Yeah, or go to the beach. Yeah, you stay away from other old people who
but
you stay away from people who are immune compromised.
So Neil, so for me,
we have Ricky Harrington.
If I have to go Google Ricky Harrington,
yes,
because I've never heard of.
By the way, go Google Ricky Harrington.
Whoever
do that.
Tidbits is,
yes,
you're missing the point here, dude.
I'm not. I'm here trying to get this out.
You need you need a Tom Hanks. You need a Rock. You need that.
Okay, but it's so clear. Even if we had a Tom Hanks or a Rock, we still have to show people how our ideas work.
That's not the debate, though, Spike. Clearly, you guys know what you're talking about.
Yes, please.
Clearly, you have great policy.
Let me deal with this for 1 second. I'm telling you why they're not coming to us. because we don't have the infrastructure to support them. It isn't our ideas. We require infrastructure. Why would you run libertarian when you'd have to fight to get enough people on the ballot? You'd have to fight to get on the ballot, period. You'd have to fight to get signatures, fight to come up with a bunch of people who could support you, fight to find a funding base. You don't run libertarian because you don't care about libertarians. You don't run libertarian because you can get a...
Are you saying that I don't even think you're saying... Or if The Rock ran as a libertarian, they'd have a hard time being successful?
That's what I'm...
Yes.
No way. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
I'm sure behind the scenes you're right, but you would get so many eyeballs and
does not matter.
Millions
but
of
that's
Americans.
Iran says death upon Americans, the top of the Iran. This is not even the people in the streets.
Who gives a fuck? So what?
So give $150 billion? That's a valid concern. That's a valid question.
First of all, it's their money that we are releasing in exchange for removing nuclear weapons from Iran. How do you suggest we remove nuclear weapons from Iran, Patrick?
You added $1 million in case you wanted $1 million. Are you going to say, let's still do it on another, let's wait another 6 months so we get another $1 million in here? Will you do that as a public health professional?
No, I would have said, allow the individual to still have a choice that's okay with 1,000 instead of a few million. Leave the person have the choice. Not force him to take it or else you're going to get out of the Marines and you've been doing this for 14 years. Not force him to take it or else you have to quit your job as a nurse.
There's a public health
force versus
there's a
choice.
There's a public health contract that you have signed.
I would choose this. I wouldn't choose either. If you had a choice between how Iran was during Shah's era versus Khomeini, which would you choose?
Neither.
I knew you were going to say that, but you can't say neither.
Fuck that.
You cannot say neither. How do you mean neither? How can you say neither? Be honest. I'm being serious with you.
You may literally have this idea about the Shah's age that is in your imagination.
I do not have an idea about Shah's age.
You don't remember the thousands of people that he slaughtered on the street, the tens of thousands of people who would disappear into education camps. We replaced one murderous regime with another murderous regime, and it's stupid to say which one would you prefer.
It's naive for you to say what you just said. Be naive to believe it's going to end up to its people. That's what I'm saying.
It's not going to end up to its people, and
we're strengthening
CPOA,
them.
It's something different.
Okay. Anyway,
but hold on. I need to say one last thing because if you probably know anything about me, you know that I get cut up and re-edited, and there's an entire industry online meant to make me look in a certain way.
That's not us. We don't do that.
I want to say something. I want to say a final word here because it's very important.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this final word will make it. I have absolutely nothing but loathing for the Iranian government, for the Islamic Republic. It is a murderous, terroristic regime that slaughters its own children. It has no legitimacy whatsoever. It belongs in the dustbin of history. The only proper response of this current revolution, and it is a revolution, is not for reform. It's not for a little bit more rights. It's to burn the whole thing down and start all over again, and I wholeheartedly support that. The question is, how do we empower those young people? How do we give them the tools necessary in order to burn it down? Okay.